I've emergency unstaked. Sad to say, I've sold, and it's really all because of one event, one thing that just really changed my mind, and that really put things into perspective, and that led me to see the light and see, have this dramatic, spontaneous change in opinion with Hex. Ladies and gentlemen, with Hex being down at nearly 80% from all-time highs, has the final bubble truly popped? Is this the Ponzi scheme finally collapsing? I want to talk about why I sold all my Hex, why I in fact emergency unstaked all my Hex. Look, there was a dramatic event in my life that took place that led me to really reconsider my position on Hex, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. Why I came to the conclusion that this was in fact a Ponzi scheme, why emergency unstaked, and why I think this might be the end of Hex. So I'm going to reveal how I came to this conclusion at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. But in the meanwhile, why don't we perhaps begin to discuss some of the consideration and some of the arguments against Hex here.
You do terrible research.
I was laying on the
You've done no
couch.
research for this.
Of course I've done no research. Why am I going to waste any fucking time on your scam? I was laying on this couch, you messaged me, I said, yeah, I'll go on. I'll call you a scammer, and I'm going to go. I'm not going to sit there and do any fucking research, spend any time on this.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, as we saw in that short clip, we've seen people, ring the warning bells about what Hex is all about. And looking at a 3-day chart here, we can see that Hex has in fact been breaking down from extremely relevant historical trend lines of support that Hex is no longer respecting as support. Very bearish. We have in fact broken down from the 12-cent support level, putting in macro lower lows. So this is continuing the macro downtrend with macro lower highs and lower lows. The short term is quite concerning, but this is just a short term, folks. If we take a look at the bid side liquidity here on Uniswap, we can see that there's in fact only $7.7 million holding up the Hex price as bid side support. Taking a look at the total Hex liquidity, we can in fact see that there is roughly about 200 million Hex in the liquidity pools, which, given how the pairings work, given a probably average Hex price of around 10 cents, means there's probably in total about $20 million worth of bid side support on all liquidity on all throughout Uniswap. So, if one whale decides to dump all at once, ain't gonna be a good day, folks. Now, again, guys, I just want to say, because I was very pro Hex for a while. Please stick around to the end of the video, hear me out, because I will explain the event that took place that led me to change my opinion and my views on Hex. But just to kind of give the devil his due here, let's kind of talk about the pro side of Hex. What got me into Hex, in the first place. The Hex people, might go on to say that, look, while Hex may indeed be maybe more liquid than some might prefer, Hex is ultimately and this is what they go on to say, a sound, immutable DeFi product in which you can earn a digital asset immutably in a trustworthy way simply by giving your time locking up some Hex in an immutable, trustworthy, censorship-resistant fashion, which is frankly unavailable in the traditional financial world and even in the crypto world. The proponents of Hex will go on to state how Hex has a T-share system, where the whole point of Hex is to lock up some of your Hex and get rewarded more Hex for locking up more and for longer. But you see, it's not that simple. They have a T-share rate that forever increases in value, which is how you get paid out your Hex interest, which essentially incentivizes everyone to lock up as much Hex as they can, as early as they can, for as long as they can. Bigger pays better, longer pays better. You get paid more Hex the longer you lock up, which essentially means, folks, the mechanism that doles out that interest, the T-share, gets scarcer and more expensive over time. And since the price action is always incentivized to chase the value of a T-share, well, folks, you have price action that's forever incentivized to chase the value of something that only goes up. In fact, if you take a look at the history of Hex, you can see over here in this column that the payout per T-share has steadily gone up over time. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up and up, while T-shares get scarcer and scarcer and more expensive and more expensive. Again, enforcing a type of artificial scarcity with a price correlation mechanism, so that price action is forever incentivized to chase the value of something that only goes up. You know, they go on to say we have a chart of future market supply, which is kind of unheard of with any other cryptocurrency, where you can see when there's going to be large portions of future unstakes, so you can plan around that, and yada yada yada. All this boring stuff, technical stuff, blah blah blah. All these numbers, all here to fool you. So folks, look, even though Hex may be the only place in all DeFi in which you can get third-party risk-free, high-interest yield on an asset that continues to appreciate in value over the long term as long as there's speculators in the market, I have to be honest that after a little bit of soul-searching, you know, after a little bit of research, you know, with different kinds of YouTube channels, that I have come to the conclusion that instead of buying the dip here at around 12 cents, I've emergency unstaked. I had to say, I've sold. And it's really all because of, you know, one event, one thing that just really changed my mind, and that really put things into perspective, and that led me to see the light and see, you know, have this dramatic, you know, spontaneous change in opinion with Hex. And it all boils down to the fact that I was recently kicked in the head by a horse. You fucks, you didn't actually think I'd sell my Hex, did you? Folks, look, Pulse Chain is going to launch soon. We're going to get a 2x. Sell me yo cheap Hex. I'm looking to buy this shit cheap, so keep dumping that shit. I will buy it at 6 cents. I will buy it at 5 cents. I'll buy it at 2 cents. I'll buy it below a penny. Keep selling me yo Hex. Folks, like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because we on occasion do indeed produce helpful content on this channel. I am in fact trying to get rich in crypto. That's why we call this channel aMillionortheMoon. I'm trying to make $1 million out of nothing. And so we'll see how we go. We'll see how it goes, folks. And so in that effort, I've been buying a bunch of Hex. I am currently at a loss with Hex. And so I'm frankly looking to buy some more Hex. So keep selling me some cheap Hex. Really looking forward to that double on Pulse Chain. Hex is in fact currently still my largest #1 position, and I do believe that I'm currently 100% staked out with an average stake length of over 10 years. So, fuck the haters, like and subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Until next time, take care, y'all. Fuck. Alright. Alright, be serious. Fuck. Oh, shit.